Welcome back, everyone, to day 2 of AirVenture, where we bring you our minisode touch and go. This is information, BrYavo. So to start off this episode, yes, I said Bryan. It was a reference to Bryan Turner because we've been hanging out with him this evening. So I was going to try to talk him into hanging out here while we did this, but I think he's sick of us by now. So.
Yeah.
So let's start this one off by talking about, this happens every year at Oshkosh, but let's talk about the storms that rolled through last night. And I want to talk to our happy campers as I slept peacefully in my hotel room.
Yeah, so you guys know I needed nothing more than a good night's sleep after my lack of sleep yesterday coming in here, and I did not get that. The storms definitely woke me up in the middle of the night. I had to get out and put a bunch of stuff away before the rain came, and so I woke up just as tired as I had been yesterday. But, I wouldn't be Oshkosh without a thunderstorm in the middle of the night, and truth be told, it was not a bad storm at all.
Okay. Maddie, how about you? Did you even wake up for that event?
Nope, I would have no idea. I slept through the entire thing. My dad did not. He was up apparently zipping all the doors shut and making sure that all the things that I had put away before, and he made fun of me for putting them away because it was only going to rain a little bit, and then it rained a lot. So he was trying to put everything away, and he was coming around. I had no idea. I was dead asleep. Dead to the world. I woke up at about 5:30, looked at my phone, and saw that there was a OSH alert and for 4:30, and it was an hour past that. I said, great, and went back to sleep.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to sleep through it. Badger, I'm sorry that your slumber was disturbed by a storm.
It happens. It gave me a good opportunity to take a nap later in the day on the flight line during the airshow.
The quietest place on Earth.
Yeah.
So rain was indeed on the forecast for today as well, including some thunderstorms, which we did see a little bit of. But we did take the opportunity to get some more interviews, and we also met up with our friends over at Pilot Quarters and with Ed at Lightspeed.
Yeah, it was kind of nice being in a Lightspeed shelter during the heaviest of the rain.
Right.
I saw my dad walk in. He was outside, and all of a sudden, whoosh, there was the rain.
Yep.
Yes, we have sound effects now on this podcast. Yep. They're made by me.
But he was smart. He came inside rather than just standing out in the rain soaking.
Yeah. He would not have been a happy camper after that, for sure.
No, I know that it's been overcast all day, which has actually kept the temperatures nice and cool. So, like last year, I think all of us experienced how hot it was out here last year, and it's been a really comfortable temperature today. There's a light breeze, it's overcast, but even when that rain did come through, I saw some darkness in the sky, but I did not expect it to open up the way that it did.
No.
But fortunately, we were inside of a booth at the time that it happened, so we stayed nice and dry.
Yeah, and indoor was kind of the theme of the day. We actually started our day at the EA AirVenture Museum watching Kurt Stanich from the Waukesha Airport, the manager there, and Dan Silvers, the manager of the Wanakee Airport, gave an awesome presentation on the Leo Cohn photography exhibit, which we've mentioned a few times in the past in news and events on our show. And afterwards, we got an interview with Rose from the Wisconsin Aviation Hall of Fame and Dan, who had just given the presentation, to learn a lot more about that Leo Cohn collection.
I guess to tease that episode a little bit, I did not realize how big that collection was. I know we've talked about it in prior episodes, but they talk about it being over 30,000 images that he has, and they're cataloged. But in that presentation, they showed the filing cabinets full of these photos and these envelopes that have this really, really detailed information about every single photograph, and it was just... I was kind of in awe of how much was actually there. And then when you think about it's different than photography today, where we can go on the flight line today and take, 600 pictures easily. But each of these photographs that he took were carefully planned because it wasn't, it's not like he had digital photography back in that time. So to amass 30,000 images in that time, and that's a rough estimate, is pretty incredible.
Yeah, a lot of history preserved there. We're excited to see what they come up with, and we're excited to share that all with you. It's her birthday. It's my mom's birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday,
I sent her knives.
Happy birthday, Maddie's mom. Enjoy your knives.
My sister assumed I didn't call her, despite sending her the knives and also calling this morning. So,
well, I'm assuming she's going to listen to this. I hope.
She better.
Happy birthday,
I told her.
Maddie's mom. Badger, you have anything to say to Maddie's mom?
Oh, I said happy birthday. I'll say it again. Happy birthday, Maddie's mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
And we also got to meet some people who have been friends of the show for a while now.
We did. We saw the guys from Pilot Quarters this afternoon. It was good to connect with them again. It's been far too long. Hoping to maybe connect with them again this week. I don't know what our schedule looks like, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to try to figure that out still. But that's a great group. I know that we talk about them often as far as, they sponsor the Sectional Showdown, but they're just a really great Midwest family that puts out these great shirts. So I know that probably sounds like an ad, but at the same time, they've been very supportive of us, and it was really good to connect with them again.
Mm-hmm. At this moment, Jim is wearing his Pilot Quarters t-shirt. He
Oh,
has
I am.
not taken it off. So if that does not attest to the quality of said shirt, I don't know what else will.
After we met with Pilot Quarters, we talked about the rain already, but we went to go meet with Ed, and it has dawned on me as we wrote these notes up for our script for tonight that we didn't take a picture with Ed, I think, again.
I did last year, but
We are terrible at taking photographs when we're in the moment because we're kind of in the moment and just enjoying each other's company, and then you walk away and you're like, we didn't get a picture. We've had that trend going with Bryan Turner for a while, so...
we are really bad at the
Sorry,
thing
Ed.
that we do. Social media.
Actually, I don't think should we apologize to Ed, or because we're putting him in the same category as Turner now, and well, I guess maybe that does deserve an apology. But
It does, yep.
Okay.
That was horrible.
So yeah, the rain let up. We left Lightspeed and started meandering the grounds, and just happened to walk by the Junkers tent, which I know, Maddie, you've been really excited about all week.
Yes, I have been absolutely ecstatic about the chance to talk to somebody about the Junkers airplanes, and we got the opportunity to talk to a company pilot and marketing manager of DMOR Group, which covers a lot of things, not just Junkers, but also Waco and Centennial aircraft repair. So that was super cool. They're actually local-ish. They're in the Midwest. They're in Battle Creek, Michigan. That was a super fun conversation, and we're really excited to get that out to you guys at some point.
Those aircraft are fascinating.
They were so cool.
The open cockpit design, the biplanes that they had out there, they've got a cool display, first of all. So if you're out here, make sure you go check those guys out. But those aircraft are just so fascinating to look at. The radial engines and the wooden propeller. It shows the heritage of that kind of aircraft, but also it's a more modern design, and it's just really cool learning more about that group.
And the emphasis on quality was something that I wasn't expecting, because, these days, wow. We really stopped our conversation for that thing. Because these days it's hard to expect quality from a lot of things, but this company seems to be very, very bent on keeping that old-fashioned quality with new advancements in technology to keep people safe.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of both our last interview that we did and this current conversation is, even though we have been at AirVenture now for our second day, and this is by far not our first year here, every single one of us has looked at the sky when a plane goes by and tried to figure out what it was. Even if that could have been a Piper for all I know, and it just, airplane. So the nerdery has not worn off.
No.
Pipers are the best planes.
This is true.
And then our final interview of the day, we are thrilled to welcome back Ryan Dembroski with formerly Super Aero, but now he's doing the ramp checks with EAA, doing interviews with various pilots that are displaying things on Boeing Plaza. So great to connect with him again, even though he brought an unexpected guest.
Yeah, leave it to Turner to completely derail everything we're trying to do. But that was a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
I have not laughed that hard in a long time. And just seeing the dynamic between the two of them.
Right.
And
it's something you really have to soak in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that was a lot of fun, and just hanging out. And, of course, we have the Milwaukee connection with Dembro being from Milwaukee, and I'm from a suburb there. But obviously he's very involved in AirVenture and EAA in general, and with the Stoll Nation all across the country. And a little bit of a teaser for when that interview airs. He made a "You heard it here first" on the Flying Midwest podcast comment. So we'll let that speak for itself when that episode is released. But he's got big things coming in the future that you won't want to miss.
And honestly, what a great guy. He was so fun to talk to, and he really cares about the community of aviation and sharing that message, whether it's through what he did with Super Aero Live before, or all the stuff he's doing out on Boeing Plaza, or even sitting down talking with us. He's got that passion for aviation and sharing it with others that I think is really something. So it was really great to have him here, even though he brought Bryan. However, I will say this too. He brought Bryan, but he also brought the lovely Ryan Turner, who is by far the better half of that situation.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the meat and potatoes of the relationship.
No.
But Bryan does have beautiful eyes.
Yes. If you know, you know. You'll hear more about that in the episode.
Unless that's a view you just hold, which, well, we understand.
It's just so easy to get lost in them.
Sorry, I was reading ahead.
This is just like school. Don't read ahead. Stay where we're at.
I was reading ahead, trying to figure out how we're doing the Bill and Jim excellent AirVenture without Bill being here.
So, as you heard our last episode, we had the minisode within a minisode of Bill and Jim's excellent AirVenture view through the lens of an aviation newcomer. Bill, unfortunately, had to attend a meeting back home, so he split this morning. He went back home to attend to some business. He'll be back out here tomorrow, I believe, to check out the grounds and the air show, and hopefully the night air show for him as well, because that'll be something really cool for him to experience. So
absolutely.
I know that I'm sure all 10 of you who listened to that episode were really excited to hear Bill's take on today, but you're going to have to wait until tomorrow and get his take on the night air show. So on that note, information Charlie may come out a little bit late, depends on how long we're here for the night show, just for editing purposes.
Airplane.
Or we'll cover that on Delta on Thursday when we put that out, where we can kind of rehash the night air show. It just depends on timing and when I can release and record stuff. Hurry back, Bill. We miss you.
Yeah. So other than the night air show, what else do we have on the agenda for tomorrow?
Well, we have a really big day tomorrow, and for the most part, it starts with attending Rich Wellner's seminar on camping and cooking from your airplane. So I know we're really excited to go and support Rich with that. He's obviously been a great friend of the show and helping us run the fly-in at the end of August.
Yeah.
And even if he wasn't doing all that, it's a topic that I find just fascinating and really enjoy his YouTube channel. So being able to see that in person will be a lot of fun. On top of that, we do have a few really exciting interviews lined up, including interviewing one of the controllers for the Fisk Arrival, and he works all the positions, it sounds like, but he'll give us his take and opinions on what it's like to be a controller here at Oshkosh. A very special Warbird interview coming up, and Jim, you have a few others lined up for us as well, right?
Sure do. Alternative aviation fuels are kind of the talk of the industry right now, with 100 low lead and people wanting to get the lead out, so to speak, of different aviation fuels. So we're going to talk with the folks over at Swift Fuels. They got a number of alternative aviation fuels. We'll talk not just about the fuels themselves, but some of the STCs involved with those, and just the direction that part of the industry is heading. Because I think the goal is, in the next handful of years here, removing the leaded fuels in aviation. So just what does that look like? How does that impact us as pilots and owners? So that'll be really interesting to hear from them. And the other big one is the F-22 demo pilot, Captain Raz Larson. We're going to meet up with them tomorrow afternoon before the big night show. Chat with him. He is a Midwest guy himself, so we'll talk about how he got into aviation, as well as what it's like being on that F-22 demo team.
And I did a terrible job plugging the Warbird interview, but Maddie, you worked really hard to make this happen. Do you want to talk about that one?
Well, there's lots of potential for tomorrow with Warbirds. We're going to poke around and see who we find. That we have a lot of potentials right now, nothing concrete, so we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully, and regardless of who we get, we will be talking to some really cool people with some really cool airplanes. So if anything, it'll be entertaining, and hopefully we'll have at least one solid interview for you guys.
Well, and hey, if you're over at Warbirds and you're listening to this tonight and thinking, hey, the Fly Midwest podcast is going to be here tomorrow, we'd love to talk to you. So hit us up on our social medias, send us an email. We'd be happy to connect with you and talk about your Warbird as well.
Or if you have somebody who you'd like to sacrifice to the podcast, you can send us their way.
And if you have a friend that volunteers you to be on the podcast, but you don't want to be on it, we also accept rides in your Warbird as payment for not having to come on the show.
That's a great idea. I'm disappointed I didn't think of that.
All right. And, of course, the main event for tomorrow, the one everybody's been waiting for, is our second meetup opportunity of the show. So...
Airplane.
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 It sounds like fun.
Because the Flying Midwest podcast is the reason people come to AirVenture
really-
on Wednesday night.
It's the pinnacle of aviation
I want to see
activities.
the airplane. There's another one. B-51s, they're leaving.
You're at an air show, so
But I love them. Anyway, so details. Red Barn at Vintage, 5:30. Where are all the P-51s going?
behind the Boeing building, and you
No,
can't see them.
But
The
they're
time doesn't matter. There's
leaving.
P-51s.
They're actually stealth P-51s. That's why you can't see them.
Meet up with us at the Red Barn in Vintage at 5:30, and we'd love to chat with you before the night air show.
If
And the Snowbird's arrival.
Oh, that's right.
6:15. Be there or be square.
Yellow Square, at or beyond.
Yes. The other thing that we'll mention is if you're that big of a groupie of the Flying Midwest podcast, like our friend Badger was over here last year, you're certainly welcome to stick around with us as we watch the night air show. The more the merrier. We'll take over a section of Vintage, whether they like it or not, and we will watch the show together and have a grand old time.
And speaking of sticking around, we will have stickers.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a great transition. I love it, man.
So come and get your sticker.
Before you close, I just want to say, I want to thank everyone who took the time to sit down with us today and chat with us. It was really great connecting with more people at AirVenture.
All right, guys. I am abandoned. My dad left and is back at the campsite. I am cold, and I think it's time to wrap this up. So thank you all so much for listening to this very special broadcast, the Information BrYavo of the Touch and Go mini-sode Flying Midwest podcast. And until tomorrow,
See ya.
See you.
see ya!